It's Friday night and the second Friday of the month, and it's another exciting live stream. And is anybody there except me? Oh, it's been that kind of a day. Beth is still on, but I don't know. Only me, right? I'm where I'm supposed to be, folks. So please find me. Oh, Lord. Yeah. Okay. Oh, there you are. Oh my gosh, Michelle, I don't know what happened, but you found me. I think about you often. Uh, I hope everything's going well. And if you found me, hopefully other people will come in. I wish I could talk to you instead of reading chat, but I have to tell you, I think about you a lot, and I hope that things are going as smoothly as possible. I know I miss you guys. I miss you, and yeah, I miss you guys. I miss you so much, and I miss your, Hottie Popo. I miss your husband, and I'm sure. Oh yeah, I'm sure you're still packing up. Now, when do you actually make the final flight to Virginia? Is there a date? I'm sure there's a. I heard that your vehicles have arrived on the mainland. Is that true? I mean, there's all sorts of chatter and talk, but I don't know. Okay. Oh, your vehicles are in North Carolina? I feel like I'm playing like What's My Line or charades. Okay. So we're okay. Oh, that's right. That's where that beautiful home is, right? The Victorian house is in Asheville. Oh, okay, that's right. I do remember that. Hi, Angie. So nice to see you. I hope everything's going well. There you are. Did I get lost somewhere on the internets, as I say? Hi, Leslie. So good to see you. Violet, thank you. Lena, oh, how are you, Lena? And Janet and Renee, right? Little Red Wagon is Renee. And Lena, yes. Hi, Brenda. So nice to see you. Hi, Mary. I don't know whether I got lost somewhere in the internets, but you're all arriving. The bus has arrived, and people are getting off the bus. I always think of when we use that, euphemism about the bus. I always think of Ken Casey's, psychedelic. You're either on the bus or off the bus. Well, that's kind of not appropriate for this audience. Diana, I loved your Van Gogh. I love Van Gogh, and what you did was just beautiful. So thank you for. Oh, I just fell in love with what you did tonight. It was just gorgeous, as we would say out on Long Island. It was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Yes, okay, I got that right, Renee. I try to remember all of the names, and so. Isn't it great to see Shelley here, Crafter Mommy? She's, working on her way across the country to settle in Asheville. No, you've hobbled in. Yes, I feel hobbled also. It's been that kind of a day. It's been a really, uh, this whole thing has been jinxed. Yes, a thumbs up would be great. I would appreciate that so much. And if you saw me this morning, I decided to do a Winnie the Pooh uh, diorama. I love Winnie the Pooh, and the story I told this morning is I got the original Winnie the Pooh book when I was about 8 or 9, and my best friend Nancy got it also, received it also for Christmas, and we used to literally take turns reading it out loud to one of us. And all right, make Janet Bomb. I don't know. Okay, what I do, just click on. I'm sorry, excuse me, technical stuff. What just click on her name. Is that? Oh, okay. The 3 stars. I'm sorry, folks. Uh, 3 stars. Whoops, 3 stars. Add as monitor. Oh, that's not that hard. Is that all I have to do? Thank you, Janet, so much. That's cool. So anyway, Nancy and I would, read Winnie the Pooh out loud to one another, and we would just burst out laughing, just laughing all the time. And I just wonder how many 8-year-olds would sit down and read a book out loud to one another. It's just kind of a cool. I mean, they play games together, and I guess that's the same thing. But anyway, so I started on my Winnie the Pooh room, and here is as far as I got this morning. And so Winnie the Pooh has a beautiful wood floor and beautiful wainscoting. And now I'm going to add the chair rail across this. And I was sitting here waiting for this thing to begin. Guess what I forgot to do? I forgot to plug in the glue stick, but that's okay. There is a publisher in England, and they're called Egmont, and they have these 4 little books. And what they've done is they've taken these beautiful excerpts from Winnie the Pooh. And this one is Little Somethings and Smackerlings for Food Lovers. So this is all about Winnie's love of food, and it's hysterical. And then of course there is the their gloom and doom, as I said this morning, and this is for the pessimists of us out there, where the glass is always half empty. And there's a gentleman that I worked with at Holy Trinity for many years, and he was a lovely man, and he was a true Renaissance man. This guy taught English, and astronomy and ecology, and he was a biologist. He was everything, and the glass was always half empty for this gentleman. And I had bought this to give to him on his retirement, and then COVID came, and I wasn't able to see him when he retired, but he was determined to teach for 50 years. God bless him. So gloom and doom, and whenever I see this, I think of my good friend Wes. And then there is deep thoughts and ponderings for the wise. So this is very deep, as deep as Winnie can go. And I know there's a lot of books about the psychology and the meditative aspects of Winnie the Pooh, and always doubt and disquiet for worriers. And Little Piglet was the guy that worried a lot. And don't we all worry? Sometimes we worry too much. I know I worry too much. So I'm just babbling on because I'm waiting for the heat gun, the glue gun to heat up, because after all of this pondering around, I forgot to plug that in. All right, so I use, as you can see, I use popsicle sticks, the fat ones, and the thin ones. And I've stained some of them, and I will show you my fabulous staining method. It is one of the cheapest and easiest way of staining things, and it's shoe polish, the old shoe polish. And I learned that from Ava, the Bohemian Crafter, and I highly recommend her. Um, and she's got some amazing stuff that she does. Ava, the Bohemian Crafter, and she has a lot of free content out there, and she does some really amazing stuff. All right, let's see how quickly. It feels a little warm. All right, I'm going to start gluing, and I've already suffered several injuries in the making of this. I cut off, I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of healed, but I kind of snipped off the top of my knuckle the other day with the big scissors. Just cut it right off. And then I did the same thing today. So blood, sweat, and tears have gone into this crafting project. And of course, I have done the hot glue burn. I know all of us have done that. And that hurts, that's pretty painful when that burns. So I'm not gonna get close. I hope you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm kind of adding the chair rail here to even that out. And the glue guns are great. And I was watching Deb tonight, and man, she's obviously a hot glue gun expert. Even though today earlier she said she hadn't used it in a while, but the way she handled it and limited the number of the strings. Last Halloween, I made an Edgar Allan Poe like shadow box, and I used the glue gun, and I actually, on purpose, I allowed it to make the strings, and it made great spider webs. All right, you just need a little. Oh, yeah, no scissors for Ann. Well, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to use scissors in a little bit. And let me see. I'm prepared. I have a Band-Aid in my pocket just in case. I hope nobody's has a problem with blood. I mean, I don't. But as many of you know, I was a former volunteer fire person, and I would drive the ambulance to pretty, whoops. Oh, that came out. Look how nice that looks. Wouldn't you like that? I feel like this is like doesn't this look like somebody in somebody's basement? Oh, that's good to know. Yeah, I'll have to try that. Oh my gosh, I have like the extra large gigundo size of tacky glue, and I didn't realize it grabs as quickly as the hot glue. I will try that. See how. I know I apologize for some of this you can't see, but doesn't this look like somebody's basement, like a 1960s basement? Where you're down there with the lights off and you're making out, and the parents are upstairs. I'm not talking from experience. Just kidding. I know many of you have done that, right? You've been there in that basement, and it's got the floor and the wood paneling, and you're hanging out down there, and then all of a sudden the dad thinks it's really funny, and he just flicks the light on, and everyone just like separates. It's like insects running for the corners. All right, Now I'm going to do the same thing on the bottom, but I'm going to show you my amazing staining process. Ta-da! And the neat thing about, yeah, I know, isn't it? It is fun to make the dioramas with kids, and the exploding volcanoes and everything. That was fun. So this is just I tore the label off, but it's kiwi, I think, brown, and just kind of like this, and just spread it. And you know what? It smells good, like so. And as I said earlier this morning, if you want to antique packing tape or scotch tape, just roll out the scotch tape and give it a swipe with this, and it looks like it has that yellowy kind of antique scotch tape look to it. So it does that also. And if you just want to, do a little, like a coffee dye on something, just a small thing, it gives you a quick dye. So let's see, how's everybody doing? Fast grab. Okay, all right. I hope everyone's well. We've had a couple of beautiful, cool days in Florida. I am on day 5 without AC. For me, that is a big deal. I have the windows open, and that's all. That's a beautiful thing for Florida, for Floridians. So I'm happy for that. Okay, now we're going to lay down if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do the bottom to make it look fancy. I'm moving this thing around, and I'll just do the best I can. And a little hot glue. The dioramas today have been just awesome. And I know a lot of work is going. I know how much. Well, for me, it was trying to figure out what I was going to do. And if anybody's familiar with Winnie the Pooh, there is where they live is called the 100-acre wood. And I thought I would do a diorama of the 100-acre wood. And that would have been, that would have been really difficult. And after talking to several of my crafting friends, that when we meet in the live craft rooms, they helped me make the decision where I decided that I was going to do this particular room. And I will show you in the end. It's a colored illustration out of the book, and I've made some alterations. And but in the illustration, in the colored illustration in the book, there is Winnie's room, has this paneling in it, and so I'm that part of it is true to the the illustration. And I got dry air, 100 acres, a big box. Yes, Meri, I actually had the box that would have worked. And of course, this is an Amazon box. Okay. I hope you're all hanging in. I hope I'm not boring too many people. But there you go. And it's kind of like, again, you wouldn't mind just moving in down into the basement and hanging out. Okay. Now, there's a little stool that I made, and I didn't completely finish coloring it, so I'm going to just do that. And I use some alcohol markers, and I just again, I just use them to stain the wood. And in the illustration, you'll see that there's a little, like a cane woven stool, and I just used a little piece of burlap and kind of made that for the top for the stool, and that's going to go here in a minute. Now the next big thing is there's a cabinet, and on the cabinet, that's where Pooh has all of his jars of honey, spelt HUNNY. And that's the next big thing that has to be added. So here's the cabinet, and this is made out of, I bought foam board, big old sheet of it for $1, and I made this, and Cheez-It is one of my favorite substrates, and this is going to be glued right about here, and there's a clothesline that's going to go across here. Let's see if I can. This is kind of difficult, and he's going to have a shirt hanging on the clothesline. I actually sewed, and I made a little tiny shirt for Pooh. I'll show it to you. And I have little wee clothespins, but here's the little shirt that I made that hangs on the clothesline. So that's going up here for the clothesline that goes on the clothesline. All right, so I'm going to glue this in with the hot glue. And let's see. There's a little eyelet. There's a little eyelet here, and this needs to stretch across here. And let's see. I need to be about here. I think we're good. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm going to stick that about here, and I will try to tie that in here, and then hang his undershirt there. Now, what Disney did was he dressed Pooh, and he changed the physique of Pooh, which really totally pissed me off. He changed him. Now, from what I understand, the A.A. Milne children sold Disney all the rights to Pooh for about $30 million, which, that's their right. And then they changed Pooh. They just changed his whole physique. And for me, I find that very upsetting, and I'm sorry. I'm so. Thank you, Debbie. Well, I'm the type of person that once I make up my mind, it's like it's made up, and it's, full steam ahead. So, but thank you. And Debbie, I loved yours. Oh my God, your diorama. I loved how small it was, and how detailed it was, and I loved the colors, and how shiny it was. I mean, all of these today were just amazing. Mary's right. I think we all rose to the occasion and did our best. And I have to tell you, I ragged Meri. Oh, Meri can attest to this, but I gave Meri a hard time because I kept on, excuse my French, I kept on bitching and moaning about the diorama. And I would say, Meri, I'm working on my diorama. I felt like I was like a spoiled little teenager, and I was, making unkind comments about this prompt. And it, for me, I found it, I think I'm speaking for myself, but I think most of us found it challenging. But Maybe not. I found it extremely challenging, but that could just be me. So now, when it's all said and done, I'm going to fill this cabinet with I made little ceramic, and like shiny. Yes, I do, Deb. I like, shiny things. I made little tiny ceramic things, and I used DOS. Is that DOS, the air clay dough, or whatever? And so I made little honey pots and a cookie jar. So, and I will share that with you in a moment. So this is going to go here, and look at this. I feel like a surgeon. It's like, scalpel, please. And this is not going to be that easy. No, I didn't think so. All right. How we doing, folks? All right, I'm losing you. I'm losing some. That's okay. That's my problem. I start looking at the number of people, and when I see the numbers drop, I go, "Uh-oh, I am boring you." But you know what? We are plowing through, folks, for better or for worse. All right. All right. That's okay. That's good. All right. Next on the agenda is this is the door to the cabinet. Again, cheese it, and I kind of put some molding around it. And this is going to kind of be glued in here. All right. And it's going to kind of go like so. And we'll get that done. We're getting there, folks. I bought a new glue gun. I figured this one was an old one and it was pink. And I figured, I need a new modern one. And I went and I researched it, and I ended up with a Gorilla glue stick gun, hot glue gun. And I was so disappointed. And I'll tell you why. It was proprietary, meaning that you could, hi, Owen. Hi, Owen. It's good to see you, buddy. It was proprietary, meaning you could only use Gorilla gun glue sticks. You couldn't use generic glue sticks. I hate that when things become so proprietary and you can't use other products. So I was very, very disappointed. So there's the cabinet. There's the cabinet. Okay, it's looking pretty good. And how are we doing on time? Mary, I'm trying to. Let me look my notes, okay? Okay. The next thing on the agenda is there's a table in the picture. And also over here, there's a baby portrait of Pooh. So let me stick that. So I drew a little, you see it? I drew a little baby portrait of Pooh. And so that's hanging in Winnie's little room. So we'll hang that on the wall. If you don't know, Owen is Nettie's grandson. And he is the most awesome little guy. And I think he's 5 years old. And he is an artiste. And we kind of ended up kind of becoming friends. And I had some, gift cards for GameStop, and he's a gamer, and I wasn't using them, so I shared them with Owen, and I made him a couple of Minecraft like birthday cards, and but most times when Nettie comes on, and if Owen's around, he wants to come and say hi to me, and I tell you what, he is the cutest little guy, and he loves to draw, and I think that's awesome. Drawing is fundamental as far as I'm concerned. So there is Winnie's baby picture hung on the wall. This was a die cut. This you can't see, but this was a die cut. This I made a little frame, and then I kind of drew that. So that's Winnie's room. And the next thing that has to go in the room is a table. And the first table I made was way too small. So I'm going to make a new table, and hopefully we can hang in there. And all right. Now, in the original table, it had a red and white checkered tablecloth. And I didn't have red and white checkered cloth. I had red and white polka dot. And so this is going to be a little loud, but it's okay. I think maybe Pooh Bears are maybe colorblind. I don't know. But this is, and I have to tell you, this is stuff that I had. So this is going to be the table, and I'm going to have to cut these. And so if Angie's here, close your eyes, Angie, because I know I'm going to try not to cut off. See, I'm using these big ass scissors, and I ended up getting my knuckle in the way, and I'm just going to go like so. And the funny thing is these little tips, they're over the house. I'm telling you, they're all over the house. There's little bits and pieces of them flying, I was walking through. Deb had the tools, and I love that the wire thing that you made. That was just, this is much better. I should have used this, but I'm afraid if I used this, I would have taken the whole finger off. But anyway, this is much better. Yes, guys, this is that complicated. Piece de la resistance is the Queen Anne's overstuffed chair that I made for Pooh. And that's a picture of that on my Instagram page, but that's where Pooh is sitting. And I used my own teddy bear. Not the Disney Pooh. You go through that entire book, and Pooh is not wearing a red shirt. Only Disney has him wearing a red shirt. And I have to, I like, I'm conflicted. What can I do? I'm so conflicted. We just spent 4 days at Disney World. My son and 2 grandsons. We went to Disney and spent 4 days and stayed there. We stayed at Wilderness in a cabin, and we spent 4 wonderful days at 4 parks, and we had a great time. And I went on 4 of the major roller coasters. This 72-year-old got on them and enjoyed them. My biggest problem was getting in them and off them, but I went on Space Mountain and Runaway Railroad and Mount Everest and Rise of the Resistance and the Millennium Falcon. So I was game. I was game. We went on the new one that's based on Avatar of Pandora. Went on that one and had a great time. And you know what? This year I didn't fall and break my wrist, which was a bonus. And Richard didn't lose his phone. And so that was a good trip. I didn't break my wrist, and Richard didn't lose phone. The most tragic thing happened was Callum, my youngest grandson, lost his little binky, lost his little security blanket. We think he lost it on the monorail. And he got over it rather quickly because you can imagine there was a lot of distractions at Disney. So he was kind of cried a little bit. And his father said, if you think I'm going to go looking for your blanket, I'm not. But you know what I did? Because I am Granny Annie, and this is what Granny Annies do. I went online and I filled out the lost and found form from Disney. I filled out the whole friggin' form. I filled out how big it was, what the color of it was, where we thought it was lost, and I submitted it. So I did my due diligence, and you never know. But I'll tell you what, that blanket was rank. Yeah, it may have been yellow. Disney made it red, but because I have the Disney plastic version, he's got red, a larger wardrobe. So who knows? When Richard lost his phone, I filled out the lost and found thing, and like 2 months later, he gets an email from Disney, and they said that they had found his phone, and it was an old phone. It was one of the older phones, so he didn't really, it was just the inconvenience of getting a new phone and transferring numbers, but it wasn't any deal. I think it was a flip phone, one of the flip phones. It wasn't like the iPhone, whatever. But so I showed Callum, I took a picture and I showed him that I had filled out the form. But anyway, any of you that have had kids that have had, blankies or, those kind of things, that they stink. Oh my God. And that's what they like about them, the smell. And so I think anybody that found it, we thought it was, he left it on monorail, because he had, when you stay at the park, you're allowed to enter the park early. And we were waiting for the Jungle Cruise to open. And he was sitting, I have a picture of him because he was sitting there on his he has a tablet. He was playing a game, and there was no blankie with him. So that's why we think he lost it on the monorail. He thinks he lost it on Splash Mountain. I did not go on Splash Mountain because I was afraid of it being wet, and I have really bum knees. And almost. No, all right. Patience, my little grasshopper has. It's okay. It's okay. A little glue. How we doing, folks? Yeah, we're dropping like flies, but that's okay. I know I've gone over a little bit, but I was given a special dispensation by Meri that if I needed to go over a little bit, that she had given me permission to do that. Otherwise, no, I would not have gone over my allotted time. So I'm just trying to, well, this is not, all right. Well, that's okay. Let me just put that on here because this is just, that's okay. It's not a problem. It's okay. No worries. No worries. No worries. No worries. Do you know have you noticed among the youngins, that's the newest phrase? Has anybody picked that up? The newest phrase is, thank you, Miss Lena. How are things in Denmark? I hope things are well. the latest phrase among youngins is no worries. That's what I mean, my son says that, and he's not that young, he's in his 40s, but he'll say, no worries. And the guy that put together my craft box, that's what he said, no worries. I'm going, yeah, no worries. Okay. So this is my measuring skills. Again, the famous eyeball it. Oh, there's one that's gone. I'm telling you, I found little tips of these across the room. They were everywhere. And I'm just going to go like so, folks, like so. And okay. All right. And we're going to go like so. I'm going to put this table together, throw some legs on, throw tablecloth on, and then bring in the grand finale is Winnie, which is my teddy bear, my Stife teddy bear, sitting in his beautiful overstuffed Queen Anne chair. I'll bring in the beautiful table lamp that I made earlier, and I'll add my beautiful ceramic honey pots. And I made a cookie jar to go on this table. If you can hang in there long enough, you will see all of this. And I'm going to say I'm going as fast as I can. Oh, I needed that. Oh, well. Oh, that flew away. Whoopsies. All right. All right. That's okay. All right. That's okay. Do not fear. I got tons more of these. And this you won't see any of this because this tablecloth will go over it, so that you won't see it. So that's what I should have done. I should have aimed it right into his beautiful basement. This basement with the paneling, it came out really cool, and it really reminds me of those 1950s panel basements with the tile floor. At least my friend's house, the Griffiths. Oh my gosh, that's a name I haven't. I thought about the Griffiths. There were four girls plus mom, and the dad's name was Len. And poor Len had to live with 5 women. And he was quite, I think I've told this story before, but I'll tell it again. At one point, he had many, many jobs. And at one point, he was the milkman. And this is in the olden days when, they actually delivered milk. And there was a dairy near where we lived. And if we were really, 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 really good, he would allow us to go on his milk run. And we were so excited. I would spend the night, and we'd get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we'd go to the dairy in the milk truck, and he would pick up the milk, and then we would drive with him on his route as he delivered milk in the neighborhood. And it was so exciting. It really was. I mean, it was cool. That's all I can say. And I remember that, many, 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 many years later, like 50 years later. This man was a man of great patience. He lived with 4 females. And then he became a driver ed teacher. Talk about patience and fearless. Can you imagine? I can't imagine. Can you imagine being a driver ed teacher, teaching young teenagers how to drive. How terrifying a job is that? And okay, all right, Meri. I don't know. She set up. I would love to finish this. I think it's okay if I finish it because she's been so wonderful. And we took driver ed in school. I don't even know whether they still teach driver ed. I think a lot of kids take it, with private, you get one of those driver eds, services and you get your license. But in New York, we had driver ed. It was a course. And now, we're almost done, folks. We are so close to being done. Oh, please, please, please. And, that was pretty late, a driver thing, and Len Griffith, God bless him, he was a driver ed teacher. And we driver ed in the summer and get our license early. New York, at least out on Long Island, you couldn't get your driver's license until you were 17, unless you had taken driver ed. If you hadn't taken driver ed, then you couldn't drive until you were 18. Where my kids grew up in upstate New York, they could get their driver's license at 16. That terrifies me. A 16-year-old behind the wheel of a 3,000-pound vehicle. Okay, guys. Oh, all right, Mary's. Here it is, guys. Give me a second. Don't leave me now. Oh my! All right, we're almost done. Oh, hang in there with me. Hang in. People are dropping like flies. Woo! All right, I pre kind of measured this. Going as fast as I can. Woo! We're almost there, folks. Almost. Hang in there. This has been an interesting day, and with some glitches here and there, but we kind of got through it. All right. Okay. Got it? All right. We good there? I'm just going to put a little, hang in there, folks. Woo. I'm just going to put a little bit of tape, just a wee bit of tape. Double sticky tape. Okay. Don't leave me now. I'm so close to making my dream come true, Winnie. And I'll show you my Winnie. Oh, come on. Please. Okay. Actually, you know what? All right. We got this right here, right, folks? A little dab will do ya. Oops. A little dab will do ya. Oops. Oh, that's hot. Hot. Here are the surrounding HUNNY. This goes here. And this is the cookie jar. And the cookie jar goes on this table here. And I've got some little other honey. Oh man, can you see what I'm doing? I hope. Aw, maybe I can move the camera. I got a little I got little honey jars here. Honey. Oh, honey. Honey do. Almost done, folks. Don't leave me now. Here's a little honey pitcher. I made these out of clay, and I painted them with watercolor, and I glazed them with, I painted them with gloss Maji Podge. And okay. Ooh, please hang in there, folks. Okay. Wow, I'm sweating. And here's this little stool. Okay, can you see this? Maybe I can tilt this down a little bit. I don't want you to see me. I want you to see this. Now, here comes Teddy. Now, this is my teddy bear. My teddy bear. Woo! Lying in on his chair. And there you go. And the lamp that goes here, right? And where's his little shirt? All right. Let's see if I can get this on here without screwing up. That'll be our little miracle of the day, Meri. Come here. Come here. All right. Oh. Okay. Well, that's good enough. That's good enough. I hope you can see that. And that's my diorama. Whew! I'm exhausted. And this is the picture that I used. And you can see this. This is the illustration that, so this is my rendition of this. Thank you for hanging in there. You're all awesome folks and great supporters. And on to Meri. Take it away, Meri. Good night, folks. This crafter needs a drink. Oh, well, I'm sorry. I forgot the carpet, but he does have a carpet, and that's okay. Almost got it all. All right, take care, folks. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening, and check out Meri, and I'll see you over there. Bye.